You know that feeling, right? You spend hours and hours studying something. You feel like you've got it, and then, poof, the next day, it's just gone. It's so frustrating. Well, today we are going to fix that, for good.
Okay, get ready for this, because this is a bit of a shock to the system. Research shows that we forget a staggering 90% of what we learn within just 24 hours. I mean, think about that, 90%. Almost everything we put in just vanishes.
So what is going on here? It really feels like our brain is just a leaky bucket, doesn't it? We pour all this valuable knowledge in, we spend all this time and energy only for it to trickle right back out. It's maddening.
But what if you could patch that leaky bucket? For good. What if you could join that elite 10% of people who actually hold on to what they learn? Well, that is exactly what we're going to do today.
The solution is this really powerful 4-step method. We're going to start with active reading. Then we'll create mind maps. Then record yourself. And finally, make a 1-page summary. Now, you have to stick with me through all 4 because there is an ultimate cheat code at the end that only works if you understand how all these pieces fit together. Think of it like a treasure map. You need to follow every step to get to the prize.
So let's get started with the foundation. Step 1, active reading. This is all about planting those seeds of knowledge correctly right from the very beginning. So what is active reading really? Look, it's not just letting your eyes drift across the words on a page. It means you're actually engaging with the material. You're asking questions as you read, you're making connections to stuff you already know, and you're highlighting only the most critical points. This way, you're not just scratching the surface, you're digging deep and giving that new knowledge really strong root. Okay, moving on to step 2, handmade mind maps. Now that you've planted those seeds, it's time to start weaving them all together into a web of connections. And honestly, this is where the magic really starts to happen.
And you know, there's some really cool science behind this. It's called dual coding theory. And essentially, what it says is that our brain processes information through 2 different channels, a verbal one for words and a visual one for images. So by drawing a mind map, you're engaging both of those channels at the same time. You're creating 2 pathways to that memory instead of just one. You're basically doubling your brain's firepower.
And the physical act of drawing is just a cognitive powerhouse. It forces you to break down complex information into these bite-sized pieces. It makes abstract ideas feel tangible, feel real. You're creating a structure that mirrors how your brain already naturally organizes information. But here is the crucial part, okay? You have to do this for every single paragraph. I know, it sounds like a lot, but this forces you to prove that you understand each individual idea before you move on. It is a guaranteed way to prevent any gaps in your knowledge. Okay, so you've read actively, and you've mapped everything out visually. Now for step 3, record yourself. I'm telling you, this is the step that almost nobody talks about, but it is a total game changer for locking in knowledge for good. So why does this work so incredibly well? Well, when you hit that record button and you explain the lesson out loud using your mind map as a guide, you're forcing your brain to perform what's called active recall. You're not just passively reviewing, you're actively pulling that information from your memory. And every time you do that, you dramatically strengthen the neural pathways that lead to it. But there's another layer to this too. It's called the production effect. Studies have shown there is this massive memory advantage when you actively produce information, by speaking it or writing it, rather than just passively reading it. Hearing your own voice explain the concepts creates another super powerful memory trace, cementing that knowledge in your brain even further. We are on the final step, right before we unlock the cheat code. Step 4 is the 1-page summary. This is where we distill everything we've done down into the ultimate memory hack. So you might be wondering, what's the difference between these detailed mind maps we made in step 2 and this final summary? Well, it's all about purpose. Those first maps were for developing deep, paragraph-by-paragraph understanding. This 1-page summary, though, is built for one thing: rapid recall. You're cutting out all the extra fluff and focusing only on the core ideas, creating the perfect tool for long-term review. All right, you've followed the map, you've done all the work. Now it is time to reveal the ultimate cheat code that puts this all together. But first, just consider this. So you've mastered the material. But what happens months from now when you need a quick refresh? Maybe it's before a big meeting or an important exam. You're not going to reread the entire book. So what do? This is where it all comes together. The cheat code is stunningly simple. It is your recording from step 3 plus your 1-page summary from step 4. That's it. I mean, think about it.
When you need that refresh down the road, you just glance at your one-page summary for a quick visual overview. If any part feels a little fuzzy, you just press play on your recording and you listen to yourself explain it perfectly. Everything comes flooding back almost instantly. It really feels like cheating, but it's not. This isn't just about memorizing, it's about mastering.
So there you have it. You now have a powerful, repeatable system to learn and retain pretty much anything you want. So the only question left is, what will you master first?